Look, if you think you know what the biggest story in AI is right now, you might want to brace yourself because the media is feeding us a totally false binary. And honestly, we need to clear the air immediately because the actual reality is just way more fascinating.
Seriously, if you think AI is basically just a glorified tool for teenagers to cheat on their homework or, some sci-fi monster that's going to wipe out humanity, you're missing it. You are missing the absolute biggest, most important story in tech right now.
Right now, we're stuck in this exhausting AI culture war between two super noisy extremes. On one side, we've got the accelerationists, right? The Silicon Valley tech bros promising this massive $40 trillion utopia where AI cures every disease and optimizes everything as long as we just move at breakneck speed. And then, on the absolute flip side, you have the doomers. These folks are literally obsessing over P-doom, which, by the way, is a mathematical probability they totally invented to predict human extinction. It's just this loud, distracting battle between utopia and the apocalypse. But here's the part most people completely miss. While the billionaires and the doomers are out there screaming at each other on the internet, there is this quiet, underground counterculture of real, everyday people who are just ignoring the noise. They're already using AI, right now, today, to fix actual, fundamentally broken systems. And that exact counterculture is what we are diving into in this explainer today.
Okay, so let's get right into takeaway one, the super plumber. Let me tell you this crazy story about retired 4-star General Gustav Perna. Back in May 2020, he was tapped to lead Operation Warp Speed. The mission? Distribute the COVID-19 vaccine to all 50 states simultaneously. It was, as you can imagine, a complete logistical nightmare. To pull this off, he said, I needed to see myself. He needed this literal God view of the entire national supply chain for one absolutely critical material, plastic. If he couldn't see exactly where the plastic for vials and syringes was hiding, millions of doses would just sit uselessly in warehouses. But the data he needed? It was scattered across thousands of disconnected state agencies, hospitals, and private companies. Just a completely tangled, unreadable mess. Now, AI actually solved this problem, but not by thinking like a human brain. It did it through something a company called Palantir calls ontology, which sounds fancy, but really just think of it as high-tech data plumbing. They used AI to act as this super-powered plumber, basically untangling these massive, messy hoses of data from thousands of different sources and cleaning them up into one functional information ecosystem. The AI didn't make the actual decisions, right? It just untangled the mess so that a human, General Perna, could make life-saving decisions at Mach 5. And guess what? It worked. The vaccines got delivered.
So we know AI is absolutely incredible at untangling cold, hard data. But that actually leads us to a fascinating and maybe even slightly uncomfortable question. Can a machine ever replicate the most fundamentally human trait? Like, can a machine actually scale human connection and empathy?
Which brings us to takeaway 2, the empathy engine. This evolution really starts with a simple text prediction engine, like ChatGPT. At its core, it's literally just guessing the next word in a sentence based on billions of data points. But Sal Khan, the founder of Khan Academy, and OpenAI researcher Jessica Shi, they saw a way bigger potential here. They used this technique called context stuffing. Basically, they fed the model these incredibly nuanced prompts to force it to act like a super patient teacher, rather than just letting it spit out the answers. And the result? It's called Khanmigo. It's a tool that takes this massive language model and essentially turns it into an engine that mimics empathy, which allows them to scale one-on-one human tutoring to millions of kids all around the world. But here is the really counterintuitive reality that you absolutely need to grasp. AI optimizes for fluency, not truth. These language models, they don't actually understand facts, and they definitely do not feel emotions. I mean, early on, this highly advanced AI struggled wildly with basic math. Because think about it, a calculator computes, but a language model is just guessing what a correct math answer looks like based on patterns. Yet, and here's the crazy part, even without true understanding or real emotion, its ability to simulate nuance and empathy is profoundly useful for students who really just need a patient, safe sounding board so they can make mistakes and learn. So, okay, we know it can patiently help a middle schooler stumble through fractions. But let's raise the stakes for a second. What happens when AI is thrown into a high-stakes medical scenario, a situation where a human life is literally on the line? Let's look at takeaway 3, the imperfect savior. Over at the Cleveland Clinic, which is one of the top hospital systems in the world, their CEO, Thomas Mikalajewicz, brought in an AI system built by a company called Beijing Health. Its entire job was to scour patient data to predict sepsis. Now, sepsis is this insanely fast-moving, deadly response to infection that is incredibly hard for even the best doctors to catch early. By standardizing detection across the entire hospital, this AI reduced sepsis mortality by a massive 40%. 40%! And here is the real punchline, the counterintuitive lesson. AI does not need to be perfect to be useful. Was the model at the Cleveland Clinic 100% accurate? No, absolutely not. It had false positives, it made mistakes, but just by standardizing a basic level of early detection across that massive hospital system, it saved countless lives anyway. If they had sat around waiting for the AI to be completely flawless, thousands of people would have died in the meantime. And we are seeing this imperfect savior dynamic playing out with everyday people too. Take MIT researcher Christy Johnson, for example. Her son Felix is autistic and nonverbal. Well, she isn't waiting around for some perfect, out-of-the-box solution. She and her colleagues are actually using AI models and techniques like gradient reversal to literally decode her son's nonverbal vocalizations. They're turning body language into graphable math by basically hitching a ride on these massive tech models built by giants like Google and Alibaba and repurposing them for good. She's proving that a small, dedicated team can totally hijack big tech to translate human emotion right now, today. Which brings us to a super powerful realization. Defensive crouches, they don't stop anything. Sitting around waiting for tech to be absolutely perfect or hiding from AI or trying to ban it, that doesn't stop the future from arriving. It literally just ensures that you get hit while you're looking the other way. Now, to be clear, the downsides of AI are very, very real, but avoiding it entirely just removes your ability to steer it. We are absolutely at a crossroads right now, and the choice isn't a world with or without AI. Honestly, that ship has sailed. The choice is really about who gets to shape its future. Are we going to leave it to the people who just want to move fast and break things for profit, leaving the rest of us to deal with the fallout? Or is it going to be shaped by that quiet counterculture we talked about? The teachers, the doctors, the parents, the people who are actively using it to patiently fix the things they care about. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative question to chew on. Are you going to let AI be shaped entirely by folks optimizing for corporate profit? Or will you step in, learn the tools, and actually use it to fix what you love? Because this technology is incredibly powerful, but it's just waiting for direction. It will take its cues from whoever shows up with intent. So, what is your intent going to be?